This is Dr. V
Hi.
this is Dr. V again with the Burnout Show, and I have Tricia Robinson with me today, and I'm so grateful that she's here because she's a busy health coach who helps busy moms reduce stress. So Tricia, tell us a little bit about why you've decided to become a health coach to help busy moms.
Well, first, thank you, Dr. Von Treat, for letting me be here today. It's always a joy to spend time with you and obviously help your client base. So I was once this highly successful but very stressed out professional working mom, and I was going through denial that I could handle it all. I eventually broke down. I ended up calling our employee assistance line, and I was so embarrassed, but I started crying. Like, the person on the other phone picked it up, and I just started bawling. And I thought, I'm just like, what's wrong with me? Who am I? I'm this strong corporate professional woman making great money with a great husband and 2 healthy kids. Why am I sobbing on the phone with a stranger? And he said, I'm going to help you. As soon as we get off the phone, I want you to go for a walk. And I hung up the phone and I took my dog. We went for a walk in our neighborhood, and I didn't bring my cell phone with me. I just experienced nature and experienced the sounds and let the sun hit my face and just calmed myself down. I let the power of nature just rush over me, and that for me was one of the defining moments for me as to I knew nature could help me heal if I just got away from everything else to calm myself down. And that was one that was embarrassing. I'm sure this person is used to getting those phone calls from stressed out people, but I had never done that. I had never broken down to the point where I was like, what's wrong with me? Why can't I handle all this? I thought I was superwoman. Why can't I handle this? Unfortunately, that wasn't the beginning of the end for me at that particular role. I was so committed to this identity of this strong corporate professional woman that I couldn't let it go. And I kept working. Like most women, they just keep on going. They put their heads down and I'm going to just keep on going. I ignored all the signs, and eventually my hands went numb and I had severe arm pain, and I couldn't do the things I was supposed to do. I broke a dish in the sink and I realized I can't break my kid. This is totally not okay. So I ended up needing 5 hand surgeries, 2 elbow surgeries, years and years of physical therapy to recover. And finally, I quit my job. Somewhere in the middle of there, I quit my job. And I realized, when I was a young kid, I did not grow up. I didn't want to be this woman who grew up who said, I'm so excited, I'm climbing the corporate ladder and I never get to see my kids and I'm stressed out all the time and I don't have any joy in my life. Like, no young girl dreams of that life when she wakes up. We just have this completely different vision of how life is supposed to be. And I thought, I want to have a different vision of Tricia. I want my life to be what I want it to be, not what everybody else is telling me I should be. Because everybody told me, don't quit your job. You'll never make that much money again. And I realized I don't need to make that much money. I need to make money, but I don't have to have that crazy life, and which to me just wasn't really a life. So I got help. Besides all the surgeries and all the physical therapy, I dreamed a dream of what would I feel like to know? What would I have to do to feel like I've conquered all these physical issues I've had? And so I dreamed of becoming a triathlete, which is like, I'm not, I swam in high school. I wasn't a runner and I wasn't a biker, but I knew how to I thought I knew how to run and I knew how to ride a bike. So I'm like, well, let me just do one of these sprint distances. But even then it was just kind of like that's nice to do someday. And then I started doing a lot of personal development, and I get this fire in me. All right, Tricia, you said you wanted to do this. Like, that's a big goal. That's a big dream. How can you do this? I started supplementing, and then my body didn't hurt like it used to hurt. And I'm like, okay, I'm moving my body more. And then I hired a personal trainer and I said, this is really what I want to do. Can I achieve this? And she's like, yeah, I'll help you get there. So between the supplements, the personal development, and the personal trainer, I went from basically physically inactive, like I could walk, but I couldn't lift 5 pounds with all my hand surgeries. I went from physically inactive to I completed a triathlon in less than 7 months.
Wow.
And then for the rest of the year, I did 2 more sprint triathlons and ran the New York City Marathon. So 2019 for me was just this year of overcoming, getting the help that I need, but just pushing myself and setting goals and achieving the goals. And you're like, wow, I can do that, and just keep going forward. And so I realized for me that when I focused on me first, which sounds so horrible for most women, they never focus on themselves.
It's essential. I realize that.
Yeah. But when I realized I focused on me first, the whole family was better, because they already knew that when I focused on everybody else, we lost 5 years of mommy functioning fully. And I knew that we didn't have that time in our life to let another 5 years go where I just can't do stuff. So when I made myself the number one priority, I got the help that I needed. I built the strength, I built the endurance, I built this. Now I'm still running triathlons, and I'm running the New York City Marathon in November. I just actually finished a triathlon on Saturday, and my kids are excited and they cheer me on, and I can run after them, and we can rock climb and play things that I couldn't do 3 years ago because I didn't have the strength. And I didn't, for whatever reason, feel like I was a priority. And now I know, women, you must make yourself your number one priority. It is absolutely critical to the success of you and your family.
Absolutely. This is also one of my life lessons that I stress with my own clients that I treat for burnout. Your story is so perfect and very similar to my story, how the stress of your work environment and not being able to be superwoman at work as well as at home at the same time can really cause such a stress on your total body, mind, emotions. And then I ended up in a wheelchair myself also. And I had several years of help to get my physical strength back, but I also climbed out of the hole just like you did, and went back to running and everything. So yeah, I'm sure we are not alone in this. So this is why this message is so important. And I'm so glad that you're doing this. So what are the 3 things, apart from you gave the number 1 already, is focus on yourself first, is a very important tip to start with. Do you have 2 or 3 other tips that people who are in this situation could implement easily?
Yeah, so all of these are no-cost solutions. So I highly encourage people to look at this. Now, I get it. If you have a newborn child, the first thing I'm going to tell you to do, you're not going to be able to do it. But if you don't have a newborn child, you have to prioritize your sleep. It sounds really easy, but there's a lot of people out there, at least, more than a third of the world, who is severely sleep deprived. Yeah. If you're not getting 8 to 9 hours of sleep, you are literally putting yourself in an early grave. There's been a lot of studies shown recently about the importance of what happens to our body as we sleep. It literally allows us to flush out the trash and rejuvenate. It also significantly impacts all of your hormones. So if you are gaining weight and you can't figure out why, are you getting proper sleep? Because you're going to end up with a lot of belly fat and high cortisol levels and all these other stuff if you're not getting the 8 to 9 hours of sleep. And a couple tips to help you get that sleep is expose yourself to sunlight in the morning and at night. It's resets your circadian rhythm, and it basically tells you, I'm a human, I'm supposed to be living outside, but I live in a box all day. So let me go outside with nothing in between you and the sun and literally spend some time outside. And it just sets that circadian rhythm. And then another thing is to avoid caffeine 10 hours before bedtime. I know, I know people like that afternoon coffee or the late night cap. I'm telling you, it is not great for your sleep. So those two things might help you get the proper sleep that you need to get. It really is critical to get proper sleep. The next one. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I love this. Actually, I'm going to put a link under this video because I have created a freebie already a while ago, which I called the 10 Commandments for Better Sleeping.
Good.
Yes, what you mentioned is a very nice addition to that. And I've had some people implement it and they did come back to me and they say like, yes, I just took some of the tips that you gave and my sleep is better and I feel generally better. I'm such a strong believer, just like you are, that sleep is so essential. So thank you for bringing that up again. And yes, I do like my caffeine in the morning. I mean, people who are tired we get almost addicted to caffeine. And also in the afternoon, like I get tired, get the dip, and then you think you need caffeine to feel better and keep on going. But yes, that will cause havoc with your sleep later on. So
yeah, it's a very dangerous cycle, this caffeine.
Message received.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
Is there anything else you want to add?
Yeah,
I know you have like a freebie to give away also, but
yeah. So there'll be more in the freebie that we're going to give away. But another thing that I want to help, I want to help others understand from a self-care perspective. I know things are probably crazy first thing in the morning, but what I've been able to do over the last couple of years is wake up a minimum of 10 minutes before everybody else in my family.
Yeah.
And what that does, and sometimes it stretches longer, it really just depends. But I use that time to focus on me. I hydrate. The very first thing in the morning I do after I brush my teeth is I drink a big glass of water, because you've just been not drinking for the last 8 to 9 hours. Hopefully you've gotten that sleep in. And so your body really, really needs to be hydrated. So throughout the course of the day, I drink a gallon of water a day. I know that sounds like a lot, but your body really does need a whole lot of water. So first thing in the morning after you brush your teeth, drink a whole big glass of water. That'll help it. That's part of your me time. That's part of filling your cup. So you literally fill your cup because you're drinking water first. Okay. Other things I do in that time when nobody else is around, I practice gratitude. So for me, I personally write down 5 things that I'm grateful for that had happened in the past 24 hours. And I believe in actually putting pen to paper. So I really believe that there's a difference when you write things down. Studies have proven it creates grooves in your brain. I don't type it anymore. I used to use the 5-minute journal app. It's not the same when I'm typing it down. I have to write it down. When I'm writing it down, I relive the experience because what you focus on expands. And so if you focus on gratitude every single day, and if you're just starting, write down one thing. You can do it in the morning, at night. I like the morning better because it just reminds me of what an amazing, how fortunate I am to be in this world. And every time I think of something, it's like, aha, and this happened, and aha, and you find more things to have gratitude for. And so that morning time, I know it's hard if you've got a crazy morning, but it leaves you way more grounded so that you can handle the craziness that comes when the kids start waking up or when everything else has happened. Minimum 10 minutes before everybody else. If you can make it half an hour, awesome, but just make sure you got at least 10 minutes in the morning to drink your water and write down at least one thing that you're grateful for. That's been a huge helpful tip for me so that I can do that. And yeah, I do have, I'll show you the Overachiever's Guide to
awesome. Definitely want to read
Stress Buster Guide. It's 7 steps to reduce stress and overwhelm without losing it with your kids. I'm really proud of this, and I hope that you'll find it beneficial too.
I'm sure we will. Yes, I love that you brought up the gratitude also. I also do that usually at night because I feel, but that's a personal choice, because I feel that I'm going to bed like in a very positive frame of mind, and then my sleep will be more positive and I will have nicer dreams. And in the morning when I wake up, it's more like I visualize my ideal day. so that I'm really clear in the beginning of the day on, yes, I have to do certain things and I want to do certain things, but how can I make this easy and enjoyable?
Yeah.
That's like an extra level that I add to it, and I kind of try and send that out into the universe to help me achieve. And when I do that, my day is a lot easier than when I forget to do that, honestly. I mean, it's like I ordered this. I mean, it's well, these are really, really good tips and easy to implement. And I'll definitely read your Stress Buster guide. And I'll put a link under the video and make sure that everybody can get that. So that's at your website, triciarobinson.coaching.com. Yep. Fantastic.
Awesome. Thank you.
Is there any other way that you want people to contact you if they want to work with you?
Yeah, so you can find me on Facebook and Instagram. I'm under Indie Tricia. So if you're facebook.com/Indie Tricia is another way to reach me. You can see all my escapades of running triathlons and training for the marathon. I thought today was a rest day, and I just looked at my calendar and my coach put that I have to run 5 to 10K, which is a pretty big difference. Like when I thought I had to do nothing today. So, I would just say, remember that you deserve your time. You deserve to focus on you. And when you focus on you and improve your health, everything falls into place much better, and you can handle a lot more when you're feeling good. Just remember, if you're feeling sick and you're feeling miserable, the last thing you want to do is handle anybody else's problems. So make sure you make the time for you, and I promise you will feel so much better for it.
Okay, fantastic. I'm loving this life lesson that you lived yourself and came to the conclusion through going through a bad time and coming out so much better. So this is a beautiful story. Thank you for sharing this. So thank you again. And this is the end of today's Burnout Show. And the links will be underneath the video for anybody who wants to have any of our freebies. I'll see you next time.
Bye.